Okay folks, another large awkward piece. Let's see if we can make this one turn up a treat. Okay, let's see what this is. It comes from Star Wars, and I learned from a few people, they told me it's called the Falcon. It's a spacecraft from, so I think this is the bottom and this is the top, and there's some things open, there's some things shaking around. I found this incidentally at a bus shelter, and I just figured this would make a good demo piece. Surprise, surprise, ha ha ha, not. So I'm going to utilise this. Let's try and get this onto the glass. And some people were just so impressed when they saw this. You know, these things are obviously worth quite a bit of money, apparently, I was told. I'm not a big Star Wars fan. I do appreciate Star Wars. It really is a nice. I like the trilogy, the original Star Wars. I don't remember if I watched all of them, but it's really nice, interesting. But I'm not a fan. I wouldn't call myself a fan. I just found this at a bus stop and figured it would make a good thing to demo with. It looks interesting. It looks a bit dark and it's not quite what I'm after. But basically, yeah, a lot of people are real fanboys and fangirls of this franchise. And it is a franchise after all. It's all about money, and people love Star Wars. It's extremely popular. I do think they should have kept it just a trilogy. I'm not big on franchises as a general rule. Yeah, that's come up looking quite interesting. I've got this part in the centre, which is what I wanted. Do you think maybe I'm going to do this, stretch it on the vertical and make it 104, keep it on there for that. I think we're going to have to lighten it off. Yeah, that looks a lot nicer. The colours in that look really exquisite. I do think I might have to move it up a bit, but I don't think. No, I don't. I have to enlarge it a bit bigger. To at least we've got some colour in it. But yeah, it's a very popular thing, and this is a real nerdy, nerds kind of thing. I really admire nerds, folks. I do think nerds, there should be more nerds in the industry that put Star Wars together. We need more nerds everywhere, because this is a real nerdy franchise, this Star Wars. And the thing is, I love nerds. I think they do things well and above, like computer programming and hardware and all that sort of stuff. And I've always admired nerds since I was a 10-year-old. And I think nerds can do better than just being fanboys and fangirls of things like Apple, for example, or Samsung. People who are nerds and geeks should aspire to run the companies, not just buy their product and that's it. They've got to fucking make something of it. They've got to try and think, well, I'm not going to just buy the product, I'm going to run the company. I'm going to buy the company. The company. Somehow make their way up the corporate ladder. But it's easier said than done, I know. But I'm a real believer that nerds and geeks hold the keys to the future if they can just get their hands on it. And I really love nerds and geeks, and I'm proud to be what's known as a tonerhead. Tonerhead is a nerd and a geek that's into photocopiers, a photocopier nerd. So basically, yeah. And I want to redesign the photocopier someday, take over a company. I can do it if they have the technology to fix the disabilities that I have. The sky's the limit, folks. I've got to believe in myself. And that's come up looking really quite a treat. I think we can now call this demo quits.